The squat can be a really intimidating and hard exercise for someone who's just started out lifting or someone who's been lifting for a while to do. So let's walk through the 5-step teaching progression I use to teach someone how to do a low bar back squat. So before we put a bar on your back, I think it's important to get used to the positions. The first 3 steps will be done just as an air squat, and the last 2 steps will be done in the rack with the barbell on your back. Step 1 is all about finding your stance. Start by placing your heels about shoulder width apart and turn your toes out 30 degrees. In step 2, you're gonna put your hands together like you're praying. Then you're going to squat down and use your elbows to push your knees over your toes, like this. While you're in this bottom position, there are a couple things I'd like you to notice. Your knees should be over your toes. Your sternum or chest should be pointed towards the ground with your eyes locked into the same spot. Your back should be locked in place, not moving around. And your feet should be flat on the floor with your weight balanced over the middle of your foot. When it comes to depth, there's some nuance to this topic, but for now, I'd like to see your hip crease below the top of your kneecap. The final step in the air squat portion of this learning progression is hip drive. Out of the bottom of the squat, I want you to imagine there's weight on your tailbone, and you have to drive your hips up hard to get out of the bottom. We want your chest and hips to come up at the same time. A common problem with the low bar squat is that people want to drive their chest up first when squatting. So if you focus on driving your hips up, it seems to even everything out. Another way you can do this is having someone put their fist against your tailbone and practice pushing against that as you squat up. Now that the air squat portion is done, I want you to practice steps 1 through 3 a couple of times so you get a really good feeling of all of these positions. For step 4, we need to head to the rack. It's now time to put the bar on your back. Start by grabbing the bar with your pinky finger on the inner line and your thumbs on top of the bar. This is done because we want the bar to sit on your back, not in your hands. So your hands are there to push the bar into your back, and keeping your thumbs over the bar forces you to do that. Next, put the bar under the spine of your scapula. You can feel this by putting your hand over your shoulder and rubbing your shoulder blade, and if you feel that bony protrusion that sticks out, that's the spine of your scapula, and the bar goes right under that. When you get into this position, all of the muscle mass in your back bunches up and creates a nice shelf for the bar to sit in. Finally, step 5 is to take the bar out and squat. When you take the bar out of the rack, step back and find the same foot position and toe position you had when air squatting. Now take a big breath into your stomach and squat. A few things to remember. You don't have your elbows there to push your knees out, so you're gonna have to do that on your own. Also, when we're getting used to the position, you are paused at the bottom. Don't pause here. Just hit the bottom and come right back up. That's the low bar squat. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help. See you guys.